back, people. And see, the problem with lying is that when officers lie, the attorney can catch a cop in the lie and overturn that conviction, and criminals can go free. But see, Kim Gardner said, I got something better for you. I got a list of dirty cops who's a bunch of liars. You remember what the previous circuit attorney said? It's right here.
A judge in this circuit found one of the officers involved in this shooting to be not credible, so we were aware of that.
That she knew about cops. The judges knew about cops lying on the stand. They've been caught lying before. But Kim says, when I send you behind bars, oh, you ain't gonna go nowhere. But the police union, oh no, she's letting criminals out. She's letting criminals go. She's dirty. She's corrupt. Kim did not back down with her list. Not waste no more time. Oh, let's see Kim's list. Let's go.
I'm not sure how she's even able to do this, Sheila Dunn writes. That is a lot of officers. If they are truly that bad at their job, then they need to be fired. If it is her that is the problem, then she needs to be fired. Sheila's talking about St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner.
We're outside Gardner's office. She has yet to say why she has created the so-called exclusion list, but we have confirmed it has been delivered to the police department and that the names of 28 police officers are on that list. This means Gardner will refuse to prosecute any cases if any of these 28 officers happens to be critical to the investigation. Gardner also has yet to say who is on the list or give specifics as to why. The leader of the St. Louis Police Officers Association says the 28 officers already have dozens, if not hundreds, of cases before the court, and that Gardner owes it to crime victims to go case by case and not to work from some kind of list. He has a team of attorneys reviewing possible legal options.
2.5% of our department. I would say that overnight last night, crime increased by 2.5% because Kim Gardner decided not to do her job 2.5% of the time.
For a second, this is Jeff Roller. I call him the devil. I really do. I really do. He is the definition of what I consider to be a demon. But if you guys have not watched my video on this man, or demon, click up here and you will see my entire video about how corrupt this man is and how he is, I can't even explain it. I just can't.
Accusations from Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner on one side and the police union on the other. Either the city has 28 corrupt cops or the prosecutor has gone rogue.
Their reputation's being attacked by a prosecutor who doesn't have a very good reputation herself.
Police union spokesman Jeff Rohr is never shy with his words, but he insists this situation is about more than tough talk.
There's an accusation without any context or explanation here.
First-term Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner, who made headlines prosecuting former Governor Eric Greitens, is the city's top prosecutor. 5 on Your Side has confirmed her office sent a list of 28 officers to the St. Louis Police Department whom she considers not credible enough to prosecute their cases.
The Ethical Society of Police said most of the 28 officers are on desk duty, facing suspension or termination, criminal indictments, or have refused to testify in cases involving other police officers.
Or call them to testify in court.
We're demanding, first of all, that the circuit attorney sequester that list, not allow that list to leak out. Obviously, it would ruin the reputations of these officers.
A source close to the prosecutor says she's been talking to top brass at the department about these officers for several days. The circuit attorney put out a statement saying, in part, to do our jobs properly and legally, we must have confidence in the accuracy and honesty of the oral and written reports of police officers. A police officer's word and the complete veracity of that word is fundamentally necessary to doing the job. Therefore, any break in trust must be approached with deep concern. The department also declined to talk on camera and in its statement said all of those on the list have been notified and said, at this time, we are considering how best to proceed and what, if any, actions to take. Rorda says this list puts cases in jeopardy. He says there's at least one murder case where the only witnesses are 2 officers whom the circuit attorney now says she can't trust.
And that's the real losers in this whole thing, is the victims of crime. And, I think that's who she owes the greatest explanation to.
What if we've got 28 officers that can't be trusted in St. Louis that she has to hold accountable?
Well, I would say then tell us what they've done wrong so they can be held accountable. But nobody's done that.
A dozen St. Louis police officers suspected of sharing violent, racist, and anti-Muslim Facebook posts have been put on an exclusion list by the city's top prosecutor.
Fox 2's Andy Banker shows us what that means.
Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner says these officers can no longer come to her office seeking charges against criminal suspects. If they do, those cases will be refused. Gardner says she has added 22 more St. Louis officers to her so-called exclusion list. 7 are permanently banned from the Warrant Office. Criminal cases in which they are essential witnesses will be refused. 15 of the 22 officers will be under review to be reinstated from the list. This comes after a national study called the Plain View Project revealed the officers shared controversial Facebook posts between 2013 and 2017. The city's public safety director says the 3 most egregious offenders have been reassigned to desk duty. A police internal affairs investigation could still possibly result in termination.
We're witnessing the final days of an inept prosecutor's reign of terror. Hopefully the next prosecutor will have the sense not to do things that make it easier to be a criminal and harder to be a cop.
That does not mean that the criminals will not be prosecuted. What it simply means is that because this individual has offended the prosecutor's office, that individual does not go to the prosecutor's office and present their application for a warrant. Perhaps their sergeant now has to go over and present the application for warrant, or their partner will go over and present the application for warrant. It doesn't mean that the case goes away and the defendant goes free.
Now, this would make nearly 60 members of the close to 1,100 member St. Louis Police Department on the exclusion list, though Edwards says a number of the officers are no longer police officers in the city of St. Louis, and he says he knows of no case that was thrown out solely because of one of the officers on the list.
Whew. I don't know about you, but don't you feel the system being reformed with this woman? Oh, Kim ain't done yet, baby. Part 4 on the way. It's coming right now.